And welcome to the 11th video of Old Guys Gentlemen Flex Fountain Pens. And now I've kind of run out of my modern flex pens, so I'll start getting into some of the vintage pens. This is one of the pens that there's only one thing I really don't like about it, and everything else I do like about it. And it's the Wahl Eversharp Skyline with the gold-filled derby. And you can't really see it in this light that well. Maybe you can. But it's, I think it's a brown. I thought I was getting a black, but the more I look at it, it's a brown. A few things about this pen. Did I say knife earlier? Anyhow. It's the Wahl Eversharp Skyline. They were made, and thank you for Richard Binder. Binder? I get a lot of my historical information from his site. But they were in production between 1941 and 1950. He shows one with a gold dome, but it was striped. He said that was 1943, so I'm sort of guessing this might be about the same time period because it's the only one on his page that he shows gold dome, but sometime in that 9-year time period. The dome and I think the banding is gold filled. The cap length is 13.4 centimeters, the posted length 14.8 centimeters, and unposted it's 12.8 centimeters. This would definitely work, but it just feels a little bit light to me, and so I like to post it. That not only adds weight, but it also gives me a sense of security here that this thing isn't going to go flipping around. I think most people might write with a pen like that. Not me. And this is one of the things I do not like about it. Notice this is not like a typical pen, typical vintage pen, where you have a the diameter doesn't change, and so when you cap it, it's a nice tight fit, and there's no wobble here. And when you're writing, you don't feel any shifting around going on. But in this one, if you're just casual about putting this cap on there and you're writing, what you'll notice is every now and then this thing will kind of go back and forth. So you have to go down pretty hard. Now, eventually, I think that that's probably going to put some wear on here, and I guess the other potential issue is, this fits right over the lever, which I think is another kind of gold-filled metal, and you would think that would eventually wear away, but it's not been. Maybe because I guess it feels slightly recessed. Some of the things I really do like about it is the look. Forgetting how it fits or anything. It's kind of like a desk pen with, I don't know, it looks to me like a little bit like a rocket, Or maybe better yet, I don't think it would go that way. No, I think it's going the other way. What else? Posted, it's real good length for me. The section down here, I don't know if I mentioned this up here, but this is about 1 centimeter down here, and it's about 1.1 or maybe a little bit over 1.1 centimeter up here. And that feels about right. It could be a little bit larger. Let's see if you can see that. My fingers aren't really touching while I'm writing, and I tend to write up a little bit higher anyhow. So that, and the fact that those threads are there, it gives me a sure feel. Sometimes in some pens I'll get my hand and it just feels like my fingers are slipping all over the place, and for some reason this one doesn't feel that way. I found it really easy to clean. This thing came apart without too much of a problem. There's nothing tricky about it. This thing came out, it does have, I believe it did have like a long breather tube that took me a while to clean out. But it's easy to see. It's just an easy pen to to refurbish if you buy one in that condition. You don't necessarily need to buy one in that condition, because even when these are fully restored, they're not the most expensive pens out there. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if there's a large quantity of them, but compared to some of the Watermans and Parkers and things like that, I think the last one I got like this was like $55, and it needed a new bag. And when I sold it, I got about $55. So, but it's a really nice, simple, well-writing knife. It was not too pricey. And probably the best thing is that it's kind of a mid-flex, where, just regular writing is something like that. And you can, if you go light hand, it's extra fine, a little bit heavier, and maybe you're into the fine to medium range. But you have to press down. See, I don't know if you noticed that, but this popped up. You have to press down fairly, with a little bit more force to get that kind of line variation, which means that for regular writing, it's just going to be fine. I don't write that well. But then if you want to do some Spencerian, and see if I can do this without messing up too much. And I don't know what style this is when you do this, but you can do that sort of stuff with it too. So it is a little bit feedbacky. That isn't necessarily because of the design of the pen. It's the years of use and whatever people have done to this thing. I think I might even worked on the tip a little bit. But for me, this is going to be one of my keepers, one of the ones that I'll keep in my collection for a while. It's not my most favorite pen, but it's a nice pen. It's a nice, deep, rich brown that, if you're not paying close attention, looks like black pen. And I think because of the year that it was made, this would have been a pen that my parents might have had in their 20s, and that's kind of cool to think about something like that. So anyhow, I hope you got some value out of it, and until the next time, have a good day. Bye.